So you want to be a video editor, but you're struggling to land your first paid client. Well, listen, after 7 years of building my video editing business, working with some of the biggest creators online today, and generating over $15,000 in just 1 month from video editing, I'm diving into a topic I probably get asked the most from new editors, which is how can I get a client without a portfolio? Now, today I'm gonna give you the most effective strategies, frameworks, and basically everything you need to really break free from the endless cycle of being a struggling video editor who's not able to get a client. So if you're serious about video editing, like genuinely, and making this your full-time job, then this advice is literally gonna save you massive amounts of frustration, of missed opportunities, and preventable mistakes. And in the end, you'll leave this video with high-level strategies, techniques, frameworks, and a unique editor's mindset, at least I like to call it that most successful editors and creators, including myself, use to build a solid client foundation and a bulletproof editing workflow. Now, despite what you've been told, the first step is the one that's by far the most important here, and yet also probably the most overlooked and controversial step of them all. It's doing work for free, AKA free to fee. Before you click off, just give me a chance, right? Let's take a look into why this free to fee strategy not only works, but also can literally transform your editing business in 30 days time if you actually do everything I say correctly and you work hard. So the way it works is you offer to edit a video for free, but you have to set clear expectations up front with the client. The deal is simple. If the client loves your work, if they like the free edit you do, they'll hire you for paid projects moving forward. Now, what this does is it removes the risk completely for the client, and then it opens the door for you to show them what you got, right? As an editor, to show off your capabilities, your talents, your skills. Now, this strategy is an absolute game changer for a few reasons. Firstly, it allows you to show your editing skills off and open a conversation with big creators, whereas if you didn't offer a free edit up front, they would have completely ignored you because you would have fallen into the noise with the rest of the editors trying to pitch them. For example, personal example, AthleanX. It's a huge fitness channel with over 13 million subscribers. When I worked with them, the only reason I got that job and stood out from the rest, the likely hundreds of other editors trying to edit for them, was that I offered the first one completely for free. And this is a big point, so take note of it. You see, I was also cool, right? I didn't come off needy or just wanting to get my next client desperately or land that next client. I was professional, I was chill, especially when it came to rates and the scope of work. And because of this, I ended up having a long and wonderful professional relationship with someone I massively looked up to in the fitness industry. Now, the second reason that this free to fee method or strategy is such a game-changing strategy is that if they decide not to hire you afterwards, it's a win-win for you because you've still gained something incredibly valuable, a completed project or piece of work that you edited. Like, it's a piece of work that you worked on. You can now add this to your portfolio. Now, ethically, you should mention that you didn't work with them directly, but you now have a piece of content with a recognizable face to a lot of other people where you can now show as a piece of work that you've done on your portfolio, since it's the purpose of your portfolio is to showcase your editing skills, to not shine a light on the creator, but on the editing of the piece of content. In that portfolio, it's the key to attracting future clients who you'll not have to do a free edit for, but instead who will pay for your services. In fact, like, imagine for a second doing this just 10 times, that's it. If you do it 10 times, if you're consistent and even just half decent editing, you're almost guaranteed to land a paying client while building a solid portfolio of work. Like, this strategy, it's all about creating opportunities. Now, whether that's locking in a new client or leveling up your credibility of your personal brand as a freelance editor. Now, despite what most people think, this free to fee strategy, it's not about undervaluing your time. It's about investing in yourself, proving your worth, and letting the work speak for itself. So many editors I come across who have no clients, by the way, say, I'm too good to do work for free. Listen, bro, if you're without clients, you're not too good to do work for free. Case in point, closed, right? So let your work speak for itself, do free to fee edits. And when you commit to this process, you'll actually genuinely be amazed at how quickly things start to change. Now, what I didn't tell you is that this is useless information if you don't know how to reach out to clients properly. And if you don't know where to reach out to them in the first place, right? Let's break down my top 3 ways to find clients, and trust me, the last one is an absolute banger or a game changer. So the first destination is cold outreach through email, right? Now, when I say cold outreach, I'm going to give you information on cold outreach like you've never heard before. And it's because a lot of people want to gatekeep this information. Cold outreach, it's one of the most effective strategies you can use. I'm telling you right now. There are a few ways to approach this correctly though. Each has its own advantages depending on your style and the resources that you have at hand, of course, but let's break them down, right? So the first one being cold email with G Suite. Listen, the first method is a straightforward cold email campaign. Too many people send emails or create an email campaign with emails like video editing 444@gmail.com. Like, man, use tools like G Suite to set up a professional email address. It costs $5 or $10 a month. And you even have a 14-day free trial. Like, there's no excuses. Then go ahead and use services like Instantly.ai. I have no affiliate with them at all. I use them myself though. And essentially what they do is they warm up your email account before actually sending out emails. If you're wondering why you should do this, it's basically because if you send too many emails from a new email account or a new G Suite that you create, they can actually get sent straight to the spam folder. And that's essentially the last place that you want your outreach to go because nobody checks their spam folder and it'll be a waste of time for you and a waste of resources. So once your account is warmed up with a third-party tool like Instantly.ai or whatever, you can purchase targeted lead lists, so lists of leads that you want to target, and you could have somebody on Fiverr or Upwork make you a list. Like, tell them the kind of person you want to target, your ideal avatar, and literally for $5, $10, they'll make you a list of like 100 people. What these lists do is essentially give you a really solid starting point to reach out to potential clients, especially in industries that need video editing regularly, right? Okay, so this next approach, it's like cold email, what we just talked about, but instead it's supercharged with video. So ideally you want to be using a tool like Loom, where you can basically record a short screen recording with your face as well. Now, when you use Loom, you can create a personalized video breaking down a potential client's existing video edits that are already online. Now, I want you to note, please, to be very respectful and professional and make sure that you're offering suggestions for improvement and showing exactly how you can help them. Like, don't just go and record a Loom and just absolutely rip the potential client apart because they're gonna get offended. You have to be very respectful with it. Now, when it comes to putting yourself on camera, your face on camera and sending it to a client, I want to address something, right? Something that I've heard so many times from editors in places like India or the Philippines, Romania, and beyond, right? After speaking to a lot of you, many of you feel that if a US client knows where you're from, if they know you're from India or Romania or whatever, that they won't want to work with you. And I want to stop you right there because as an American myself, I can tell you one thing for certain: we don't care. I've worked with so many clients, they don't care where you're from. What they care about is results. So I would ask yourself this: can you bring the results that you're trying to pitch to that client? If you wholeheartedly and confidently believe that, that's all that matters. So break that limiting belief of where you're from. And when you include a Loom video, it doesn't matter what you look like or where you're from or how you talk. It matters if you can convey in that Loom video that you can help solve this client's problem. So finally, if you want to really take things a step even further than that, what you can do is combine the Loom video approach with the free test edit. So in your cold email, include both your personalized video breakdown, right, that you do on Loom, and then link to a sample project where you've actually already implemented the changes that you suggested in that Loom. It's way more time consuming, but the conversion rate is crazy because what it does is it gives a client a real tangible example of what you can do for them, and it lowers the barrier to working with you even further. Broken down, you're doing part of the work up front to prove your value, and that can pay off exponentially. It could pay off so big. So each of these methods, they work great, but the real magic comes from choosing the one that plays to your strengths, right? And also consistency. I like to think of it like if you go to the gym every single day for 2 weeks versus the person who goes to the gym 1 to 2 times a week, but for 3 years is gonna have way better results. And it's the same thing. You have to stay consistent with whichever route of cold outreach you wanna choose. You see, despite what a lot of these gurus tell you, cold outreach is not about luck. It's about showing up, it's about demonstrating your value and providing solutions to problems that your potential clients didn't even know they had. The most basic level I could break it down. But if you do cold outreach and you find you simply don't like doing this via email, then there's another really good way to do cold outreach. Isn't as boring as cold email. Now, it's a cold outreach method that can help you attract work because it's something that will keep you in the game of video editing for a long time if you do it right. And that is Instagram cold DMing. Now, I know Instagram's DMs especially the DMs on Instagram, have become a place where spam and endless pitches go to die. But there's a way to do this to stand out still. Now let's start with covering the basics, right? So slide in their DMs, but don't just type a generic message. Send a quick audio message instead. It's so much easier and quicker, and it gives that like personal touch. It's way more engaging, and it shows that you put a little bit more effort into it, right? And you got to remember, people, these clients, they love these little personal touches, right? And this little small tweak of doing an audio message instead of just typing out a normal pitch, it really massively increases your response rate. Like I've actually tested this. Like I don't have exact numbers, but you know, I've tested it through DMing a lot of people, and the voice messages I do always get open. Now, whether you do cold DM outreach through voice message or just normal text, there's a few things that you are going to want to do to increase being seen in the first place, right? With these clients. First of all, you can do the paid route, which is spend $10 per month to get the verification, the blue verification badge on Instagram, since with that badge, you never go into any spam or requested folders, at least in the time of recording this video. If you don't want to spend that $10 a month, then when you send an audio or written cold DM on Instagram to whomever you're trying to reach out to, you will 99% chance get sent into their requested or their spam inbox. So to be seen, there's a few things you need to do. One, make sure you follow the person before DMing them. Second is engage with some of their content. And the biggest tip I would give you or disclaimer on this point is don't be a creep, right? Don't go like every single one of their posts or reels, because that's just weird. Instead, comment on their, like 2 or 3 of their posts, comment on their most recent video or post, and say something short and not spammy, right? Try to also evoke some sort of curiosity. I guess I'll give you an example to explain what I mean, right? Take me, for example. Sometimes people DM me and I don't see it, so then they'll go to my comment section on my most recent post and say, check DM. I'm like, what? No, no. So instead, do something, I'd say punchy and short, and really evoke curiosity. So I would go to their most recent post, leave a comment, and I would do something along the lines of like, first mention something about the post that you're actually commenting on. So I'd be like, oh, like if it's them at the beach, oh, it looks super fun, right? And then I would say something along the lines like, saw some of your vids, looked great. Just sent you a DM about helping you take a bit of the load off with the content if it's something you might need. I'm an editor, by the way, LOL. One, it evokes curiosity. 2, you're commenting on the post. And 3, it's super casual and like a normal friend would comment. And then at the end, it's a little bit of comedy, like, oh, by the way, I'm an editor, LOL. Before we move on to the next point, I really want to make sure I tell you one last tip on this, and it's to remember to always try to reach out to people who have money to invest in content. Too many times I see editors reaching out to people who clearly can't afford it, right? Now, so for example, if I'm reaching out to somebody, I want to see if they have a link to some sort of content showing me that they're posting content, or I want to see a link to an offer for something that they're selling. Then I'll see if their page reflects, someone that would be a good fit with me as an editor. Because a little pro tip, even if you are desperate for work, the quickest way to begin to absolutely hate video editing and getting burnt out is to work with clients whose content that you hate and that you just do not align with. A great way to start looking up people that you want to work with on Instagram is to go to, for example, I like working with people in the business and entrepreneur niche. So I'll go to accounts like Max Pearson, for example, and please don't go blow up his IG. He already has editors anyways. So again, him as an example, I would go to his account and then I would click that little like icon of the guy, the network, I think it's like a network button. And when you click on it, it gives you a list of people similar to him. Like it's literally a free list of leads of people in the same demographic as the person you want to reach out to that Instagram's giving you. And then just go to their profiles and reach out to them. Now that we have everything we talked about settled, the next place is by far the easiest place to find editing work, yet most people don't focus on it. It's YT Jobs. And for those who don't know, YT Jobs, it's essentially a marketplace where YouTube creators post job listings for video editing, for thumbnail design, for script writing, for basically all the creative tasks that come with creating YouTube content. And the thing is, it's a super good platform and high quality clients for you to start connecting with potential clients who are literally actively seeking editors for YouTube. Like it doesn't get better than that. But there's a few things that you can do to make the most out of YT Jobs. First off, YT Jobs allows you to upload a video to your actual profile, like showcasing yourself, I guess. So use this as an opportunity to show your personality off, to show off your skills, your enthusiasm, your editing, all that. I want you to talk directly to the potential clients about how you can help them grow their channel through video editing, right? I would say a 60-second intro video can be a huge significance in boosting your chances of being hired. In addition to that, this is where the free videos you've done come in really handy. What you want to do is you want to upload those videos that you've done for free to YouTube jobs as your portfolio, and then go ahead and tune up your profile by making sure, your headline, your bio, all that stuff's dialed in. Make sure you go on YT jobs like 3 times a day minimum so that you can constantly be up to date, replying to new listings, new people who post listings of jobs, or, maybe potential clients that message to you. You want to be super quick on all that. Every day you're without work, try doing a free edit to add your portfolio. And by doing that, I guarantee you in the next 30 days, you'll for sure find your first client. So that's exactly the A to Z on how you can land video editing clients without an actual portfolio. And in the process of doing so, build a portfolio. But here's the thing. There's something that I didn't tell you at the start of this video. Everything I just told you is completely useless if you don't actually know how to edit. So if you're a beginner and you want to learn how to edit, click on this video if you want to learn exactly the A to Z to editing inside of Premiere Pro. Thanks for watching.